Your reading time has elapsed. So like yesterday, we are going to allow the delegates to have 2 clarificatory questions. Is there any questions on the floor? Delegate of Turkey.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. So the delegate of Turkey would like to ask regarding, could you go up to the image, Chair?
Yes.
To the image. So the delegate of Turkey would like to ask whether,
Image.
yeah,
Right.
what does the current represent, and where does the newly established Kurdish people country is established in this part, or maybe the name of the city of some sort? Thank you, Chair.
So for clarification, the green area is the area of Rojava, which currently the referendum lays claim to. Currently, the status quo is the same. It's just that from the news article, it seems that there is a suggestion that in the near future that the Kurdish people will take action to take over this area. Is that clear?
Yes,
the green
clear.
area is the one that they're linking.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's clear.
So we're going to allow for one more question. Is there any questions? Is there any more questions? Seeing as there is none, we are going to now give the floor, Delegate of Syria. We're going to allow one more question, Delegate of Syria.
Okay, thank you, Chair. We would like to ask both BBC and Sana regarding the most recent update on the source material. So, is the news implying that the referendum has just been completed, or are the news implying that the referendum has been in place or has been announced for quite a while before the update?
I'm going to answer that for BBC and Sana. It's been announced that it's just been in place, so it has only been a couple days ago.
Okay, thank you.
Like I have mentioned before, currently there is no change in status quo. It's just what is being done is that there was a new referendum. So we are now going to give the floor to Madam Soraya. You are allowed to take the mic.
All right, am I audible? Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to have a press conference for the event of crisis. We would have all of the delegates that has not been asked question to close your camera. So we will welcome 2 of our journalists, the journalist from BBC and the journalist from Reuters. Starting with the journalist of Reuters, you may have the floor. Okay, saying she's not responding. BBC, journalist of BBC, you may have the floor.
Good afternoon, all delegates. So, with the Kurds now under one leadership, there are no longer any confusion between the factions of Kurds. This should expedite the peace talks between all belligerents. However, the BBC wants to know that how will the UNSC support the state based on the right of self-determination, or will the UNSC negotiate the position of the Kurds? So there are a form of representation that can solve this problem. But we all know, with one thing in mind, the BBC knows that neither Syria or Turkey will allow for this new state to become a reality. The question is directed towards the floor. Anyone please answer. Thank you.
All right, as this question is thrown to the floor, any delegates wants to answer?
Hi, may the delegate of Turkey answer the question?
Yes, you may have the
Okay.
floor, Turkey.
So again, we believe that in regards to the principle of self-determination, although it is true that every people has the right to determine themselves, it must respect the sovereignty first. In this case, the Kurdish people are quite divided in Iraq, in Turkey, in Syria. So we believe that actions could be possibly quite reckless when we're still currently ensuring the fact that we want to make peace by possible negotiation. So the delegate of Turkey believe that instead of making such reckless action, UNSC will keep on pursuing its solution in form of past working paper to ensure that these parts can be negotiated, and we'll see where we go from here. That is all for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. Are there any more delegates who wants to answer?
May the delegate of USA answers.
All right, you may have the floor, Delegate.
Okay, we believe under the self-determination, if we see at the history of the, if we see the history of the of the making of this UN Charter, self-determination is only will be given to a colonized station, a colonized nations that has been colonized by certain nations. However, we under international law, according to Michael P. Sharp, self-determination is only is not is violating the international law as it applies the use of force, and also the secessionist entity that attempts to separate by violating another fundamental norm of international law is also not considered as a self-determination act. And we also believe that this action that has been done by Kurdish is quite unwise to recognizing that the UNSC has been talking about the peace arrangements from the very start. So we believe that the UNSC still needs to continue on their resolution between the Turkish and the Syrian government, and also the Kurdish, before we address this issue. Thank you.
Thank you, delegates of USA. Next to speak, delegates of Syria, you may have the floor.
Thank you. In regard to the news update, the delegate of Syria would like to reaffirm that we are highly disappointed with the reckless action that was taken by the people in Rojava, considering that the People's Republic of Syria do not acknowledge the referendum itself. In regards to the UNSC strategy responding to this update, Syria still believes in opening negotiations. However, taking into account the recent actions of the Kurdish people, we believe that negotiations would have to be more focused on the commitment of the Kurdish people towards any ceasefire that we intend to implement later on. Since many delegates have raised the importance um, including the Kurdish people in the discussions, we believe that it is also equally important to extend the obligations of commitment towards the Kurdish people itself, especially now that, as noted by the BBC, they are now united under a single leadership, which Syria hopes would make it easier for us um, to demand their accountability over implementation of any peace agreements and ceasefires in the northern Syrian border. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. Are there any more delegates who wants to answer before we proceed to the next question?
Delegates of the United Kingdom, can we answer that?
Yes, you may answer.
Okay, thank you. So the delegate of United Kingdom believes that we support meaningful political and participation and representation for the Kurdistan. We could make such claims by mentioning the first article of the ICCPR about the self-determination of people, where they are free to express and to claim their rights. In a sense of the case of Kurdistan, we believe that cultural recognition, equal rights, and economic opportunities is something that should be given, considering how Kurdistan is also operation to the Kurdistan is also something that is not so secretive anymore. However, as a peaceful country, we believe that this promotion of self-determination should be pursued in no such of violence means or through unilateral actions that could further destabilize the region, as we are already facing great instabilities by terrorism in the area. Thank you.
All right, the journalist of BBC, do you have any follow-up question?
No, thank you. All clear.
All clear. All right. For the journalist of Reuters, are you still here?
Yes. I want to ask a question. To make the peace in this area, in this world, especially to overcome this problem, if you could add one country to the UNSC as a permanent member, who would it be and why?
Interesting question. Maybe the Permanent Five can answer that.
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
The point of my question is, if you could add one country to the UNSC as a permanent member, who would it be and why?
Journalist, may I ask for clarification?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, on what base do you want us to add one more permanent member? Thank you.
To all the delegates who want to answer it.
Okay, so can the delegate of UK answer that?
Yes, you may.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. For United Kingdom, we believe that, let's face it, we have a lot of imbalance, right? Regarding the UK permanent five, we have four Europe, at the very least, three European countries, one from North America and one from Asia, and we believe that there is much more participation coming from Asia itself, because they are the largest continent on the world. They have the most largest population, and because of that, we believe that if we have to choose one country, we believe that it is either Japan or it is either Australia, because we believe that they are the one that representing the interest in the Eastern Hemisphere. That's all. Thank you.
The journalist of Reuters, is your question answered? Sir, she's not replying again. However, thank you so much, all delegates in.
Can
Yes?
Turkey answer it? Can Turkey answer it?
Yes, of course, you may answer.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so we do believe that Turkey is have a capability to be a P5 member. Why? Because we're involved in human rights or humanitarian act itself. Why? As we can see that we are involved in Syrian refugee itself, that we are the one who give the asylum to them, and then we are the one who contribute the most refugees in the world right now. And then the second one, And the second one, we do believe that Turkey is one of the most diplomatic countries in the world, and we are going to resolve this together if P5 allow us to join them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, the delegation of Turkey, and for the promotion, of course, maybe the P5 can consider that. Seeing there's none other questions on the floor, thank you so much, Delegate of UNSC, for the time, and we'll give it back to you to the chair.